So I'm walking around the gardens, and a few of you have been asking me about some of the plants in this garden. This is the well garden that's located in front of my house. I actually started this about 15 years ago when we did an addition on our home. Our home actually used to be a ranch. 15 years ago, we ripped the roof off and added a whole second story. So that is all addition. But when we did that, the town had us move the well 5 feet. We had to move the well 5 feet. So we had to dig a whole new well and move it 5 feet because we had to redo the septic in the back, and it had to be a certain distance from the back. So ultimately we had to move it 5 feet. And this garden is a result of moving that 5 feet. So I don't know if you have a well in your property, maybe your city water, but with well, there's well equipment, and it's actually hidden pretty well underneath that limelight hydrangea. But a lot of times, if I can't grow grass, or you know, I have something that I want to hide or conceal, I just grow a garden, and nobody will know. So that's what we did here. And just to kind of give you an idea of what's growing here, when I originally planted this garden, I just went with like all kinds of divisions from some of the other beds because I didn't have a whole lot of money to devote to planting this garden. Over the years, it became like a holding ground for plants that I wanted to grow but didn't know what to do with. And so I'm sure you can imagine, like, through the years, it became a little bit of a hot mess. So in the last few years, I've been trying to rein in the design, and here's what's grown. So to the left here, we have zebra grass. I love zebra grass. I love the texture on it with the little stripes. Isn't that so cool? And one of the plants that I wanted to grow was smoke tree. So smoke tree gets these like smoky flowers. I don't get them because I cut this back pretty hard in early spring to maintain the shape, just to kind of keep it like a little shorter. I don't want it to be really tall. So because I do that, I cut the flowers off, but I do have a couple of different varieties of smoke tree in the back and do let those flower. But the reason I grow this one is more for the foliage. So because I want an ever-blooming, colorful garden that is just beautiful from the beginning of spring through the, through fall, I look at both blooms and foliage. So in this garden, I was looking a lot at texture and color from foliage, and so that's why I planted that there, and I love it. I just love that color, and it pairs so well with so many plants. Sorry, that's my neighbor taking their garbage out. So anyway, so I have smoke tree, that's zebra grass, and then I planted a few of my zinnia seed starts in here, like I've said in other videos, because I just grew so many from seed and didn't know what to do with. I just stuck them in anywhere. So I've quite a few in here. I've got some super wave petunias, some my moonbeam coreopsis. That orange flower there is what's left blooming of butterfly weed. My daylilies are pretty much done. This is my tall phlox, and as I mentioned before, my limelight hydrangea. I love how that phlox looks with that smoke tree. Isn't that beautiful? I love that combination. Not to mention, I love the combo with the limelight hydrangeas. Last year, they really wove in together with each other and just looks so cool. In the fall, it was just so pretty. The plant combination is beautiful. Then this zinnia right here actually is Bennery's Giant Wine. I'm all about it this year. They're big, they're beautiful, they get really tall. Probably a good idea to stake them, especially if you live in an area where you get a lot of storms like we did here. I have a couple of them that knocked over that I've been staking after the fact. Next year I'll be a little bit better about doing that. But then we've got my black-eyed Susans here. I'm seeing some deer damage here. Looks like I'm gonna need to spray this today. Anyway, so these are my black-eyed Susans. Then I've got my dwarf Alberata spruce, some more phlox. This right here is beautyberry. If you've never heard of beautyberry before, it is such a cool small shrub to grow. It gets these like really tiny, insignificant flowers, and as you can see, the foliage is starting to turn. But in the fall, it gets these brilliant purple berries, and it's just beautiful. Birds love it, I love it. I love the arching branches, and when it's covered in berries, it's just beautiful. Then I've got a juniper up there, and some euphorbia, marigolds. I've got oreganum by Proven Winners. This one, and I kept the tag on this one, is called Drops of Jupiter. I just planted it. It's a newbie, so we'll see how it does over time. I've got my peonies over there. Then I've got Blushing Lantern Silene. Silene, is that how you say it? Then I've got a couple different varieties of zinnias. Again, I tucked quite a few in around because I grew way too many. I've got my cupcake cosmos over here. I have blush and cupcake white. And then I've got a couple different David Austins here. I think I've got to trim a few back. They're getting a little unruly. But I've got Ebb Tide, Tranquility, Lady of Shallot, and Charlotte. And then I've got some some Shasta daisies. This is like a miniature variety. I don't know the name offhand. I'll have to dig that out for you guys. Right now, the roses look like they're in a little bit of a lull. Then I've got some super bells. Aren't they pretty? I love them with the euphorbia. Looks like I have some deadheading to do on my marigolds. And that's really it. I've also got, I just planted the cat's pajamas, catmint, and some Russian sage. I had some lupins here. They didn't come back, so I planted some newbies, so we'll see how they do. And that's this garden. Thanks for joining me this morning. Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can follow along. Enjoy a beautiful day.